Your Excellency Mokgweetsi Masisi, former President of Botswana and Chair of the Climate Mobility Elders Group. Your Excellency Carlos Alvarado Quesada, former President of Costa Rica and Chair of the Global Center for Climate Mobility Advisory Board. Dr. Bernhard Srup, CEO of the Robert Bosch Stiftung. Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. The Berlin Climate Mobility Forum 2026 brings together an important conversation at a critical moment, and I'm glad to be part of it. I want to begin by acknowledging the Global Center for Climate Mobility and the Robert Bosch Stiftung for convening this forum. This gathering offers the international community a timely and necessary space to explore collective action and respond to the growing human impacts of climate change. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, climate mobility is no longer a distant prospect. It is an unfolding reality across many parts of the world, including Southeast Asia. ASEAN is home to nearly 700 million people, and the region remains among the most vulnerable to climate change, given its extensive coastlines, densely populated delta areas, and high dependence on climate-sensitive sectors. Between 2021 and 2025, more than 3,600 disaster events displaced over 7.5 million people across the ASEAN region. With the possible development of El Niño conditions in 2026, climate-related risks across Southeast Asia may intensify further. These figures are a reminder that climate change is not only an environmental challenge, it is fundamentally a human development and resilience challenge. ASEAN continues to strengthen regional cooperation towards building a climate-resilient and people-centered community, guided by the ASEAN Community Vision 2045, Our Shared Future. In the ASEAN Joint Statement on Climate Change to the UNFCCC, or COP30, and in the recent ASEAN Migration Outlook, ASEAN reaffirmed the importance of deeper regional cooperation and practical adaptive responses to climate vulnerability and the growing challenge of climate mobility. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, ASEAN's priorities and regional experience have a meaningful role to play in the international community's broad efforts to advance cooperation and practical responses to climate mobility. Against that backdrop, allow me to briefly highlight three priorities going forward. First, ASEAN will continue working with partners and the international community to strengthen coordinated approaches to climate mobility, including by bridging climate change adaptation and disaster risk reduction efforts. Comprehensive and coordinated solutions are essential to addressing both slow onset challenges and certain climate-related crises. Second, ASEAN recognizes the importance of integrated people-centered approaches in planning for and managing climate mobility across all levels of governance. These efforts must strengthen the resilience of vulnerable communities by improving livelihoods, expanding income opportunities, and building adaptive capacities from the ground up. Third, meaningful progress on climate mobility cannot be achieved without stronger support for loss and damage, particularly for vulnerable developing regions. As we reaffirm in the ASEAN Joint Statement on Climate Change, ASEAN calls on all parties to honor their commitments and ensure that support for affected communities is accessible, adequate, predictable, and needs-based. ASEAN values and supports the ongoing international efforts to advance dialogue, cooperation, and practical frameworks on climate mobility, including discussions towards a global consensus on climate mobility. Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, no single country and no single actor can address these challenges alone. ASEAN stands ready to work with partners in building shared solutions and deepening cooperation to address the climate mobility challenges that confront us all. To all participants, productive and substantive discussions lie ahead. I hope the forum generates the momentum this moment demands. Thank you.